What about building a swarm list? That's what we're going to explore in this Battletech vlog. And I feel like right now Battletech is in this really interesting place, given the visuals of the game. Being a miniatures-based game, at least right now, certainly in the vlog from last week, we asked the question, I pushed this up to the archive, proxies or using counters, or back in the day when I got started with Battletech, the cardboard cutout standees. Lots of different ways to play the game. But so much, for me, Battletech is the narrative, immersing yourself in this, the miniatures, the terrain, even the possibility in playing with hex maps to populate it with terrain pieces, removable terrain pieces when you're in woods or level 1, level 2, level 3, really working on that visual. The limitation was kind of the mechs back in the day. But now with the plastics and 3D printing and the various metal mechs, you can put together a variety of very, very interesting lists, either as a primary list for some reason, whatever reason you want to play this list. A couple of lists that I run in Lances, people kind of look at, and I say, well, I enjoy running it. And then sometimes you want to build a list for the lulls, just to see what happens. So we need a little bit of narrative here, right? A pirate force or an invasion force, and there's a mech factory that only produces light mechs. I'm not saying one type of mech, but light mechs, maybe it's repairing light mechs, looking to take that factory. So can we put down a swarm list of light mechs and just totally overwhelm the opposition? And I say light mechs because a swarm list, generally speaking, in wargaming terms, and Battletech is very much a war game, your battle value, your power points, your power level, whatever that currency is to build your list, you are trying to flood the table, overwhelm the table with maximum miniature mass. Just putting down lots of stuff. Now, there is a fine line. I can't just put down the least effective thing. I do need some sort of effectiveness in engaging. So from that perspective, we're going to look at certain mechs, but I'm looking to keep that battle value down per mech. So if you're bringing like 8 or 9 mechs, can I bring like 15, 16 mechs? Can I bring 2-to-1, 3-to-1? I don't think I could get 4-to-1 without compromising. Combined arms, I could. I could start flooding the table with scorpion tanks and just like low battle value hovers. But for the sake of this, we're going to keep it focused on just mechs. I'm looking at mechs that are going to have the primary weapon be a large laser. Secondary weapons, I want missiles. I don't want machine guns. I don't want small lasers. I want to be able to hit up there and get close and utilize that. I'm also looking at Jenners. Now, Jenners are a little bit pricey, so I might do a couple of Jenners and then fill out the rest with bug mechs, either primary, looking at the... I can't believe I'm confusing this right now. Too much Battletech. Correct me if I'm wrong. As a mech commander, this is rather shameful. Wasp versus Stinger. Wasp has the machine guns. Stinger has the SRM. But either way, taking the mech that is going to have that large laser and have the short-range missiles. Looking at stuff like the Valkyrie, if I want that long-range missile. Looking to put down, in my opinion, primarily close in. I'm going to flood you and get 1 to 2 hexes away on multiple sides. I'm going to look to engage 3 of my mechs per one of your mech, and just really kind of flood the table with those mechs. I'm going to have initiative, even if I lose initiative. I'm going to have speed and jump and mobility to get into position to surround you, to exploit weaknesses in armor, to exploit rear armor. The only thing I see, though, these are light mechs. As soon as they take 1 or 2 hits, things are going to start getting crippled. At that point, I will be doing physical attacks. At that point, I will be doing multiple deaths from above. But I see a swarm list ultimately being very aggressive in that at the beginning of the game, start of the game, mid-game, end game, you are at your most powerful. It's kind of like going against the clans, right? At the beginning, you're at your most powerful. But then as it goes on, I'm going to take so many losses and the effectiveness of my mechs is going to decrease. I need to be decisive and bold. I'm not hanging back. I'm not waiting to see what you give me, what mistake you make. I am looking to dominate and be hyper aggressive. That is how I see playing a swarm list. And swarm list is just a term. We're not limited to just bug mechs, certainly from that perspective. Turning it over to you guys. If we have, let's say 5K battle value, what would a swarm list look like just focusing on mechs right now? Because as soon as we jump into combined arms of infantry and tank support, that opens things up to a whole different and new and exciting level. But focusing just on mechs, 5K, what would you take?